It's a cold and nippy night, and I'm back for the final time on my series of sharing with you very colorful and very unique scenes of Hasidic Williamsburg during the high holidays. And today we're going to be joining the bagleiten, which actually is the final ceremony that wraps up the end of the holiday season and ushers us in to the cold next period. The word bagleiten is Yiddish for to accompany. When we were children, we had a habit in our home. This was a ritual that we would always have to bagleit someone if they were leaving. So if you were to leave the house, my mother would send a child to accompany you just a couple of paces out the door, sort of as a good omen while you left the house. But today's bagleiten is an accompanying of epic proportion. It is the accompanying the Satmar Grand Rabbi from his synagogue by the entire congregation to his home, where he steps out of his home on his balcony and he blesses the entire congregation. But we're going to find out if it's happening, what it looks like. I have no idea what to expect. The reason why I don't know what to expect at the bagleiten is because the Satmar sect has undergone some very, very big transformations since my days. Namely, the Satmar sect essentially split in two when two brothers, Aaron and Zalmalai, both were fighting for leadership of the dynasty after their father, Moshe Teitelbaum, wasn't in a position to really appoint an heir because of his ill health later in life. So the Satmar sect split in two, and the locations of my childhood where the bagleiten happened is now the place where the younger brother holds court, and the older brother is where my family has pledged their loyalties and where my family would participate. So we're going to go to the younger brothers. But the reason we're going there is because it's really in the heart of Williamsburg. It's where the historic Satmar mansion and synagogue are. So we're just choosing to go to the buildings with more history behind them. You know what I realized? Today is the first video that I'm doing on the rabbis, the Hasidic dynasties. Specifically today, it's the Satmar dynasty. Personally, it's not really my most interesting topic, probably because as a woman, the male leadership wasn't something I was so intimately exposed to. But today we're making an exception and we're going to see what it's like. We came a little bit early to the bagleiten, and I had no idea if it was actually going to happen because it looked like a regular end of a holiday. People were rushing home from the synagogues or from their relatives with their little children. It's a nice nippy night. But now, as we've been hanging around a little bit, ambulance lights have gone on and they've started to pull out barricades, and it's starting to look like something's cooking around here. These two lovely ladies stopped me and they wanted to know where our footage is going to be. No one wants to be on camera. Very rarely are people okay with being on camera. People just want to talk to me. And I got a little bit on the lowdown on what's happening here. It's probably going to be another hour and a half until the ceremony actually begins, but people are already lined up waiting to make sure they have a good spot for when it actually happens. The New York Police Department, why do I want to say Kapores? The NYPD, New York Police Department, have just arrived. They're always here, part of the ceremony. Hi, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? I saw the kids are very interested in you.
Yeah.
Can I ask you what they want?
Oh, nothing. They were just asking us what we do, and they were just interested.
They're very curious about your equipment? Is that what they ask
Yeah,
about?
the equipment and our job.
We're right now actually on Bedford Avenue, which is 10.3 miles, which is very, very long. I don't know what it is in kilometers, but it is the longest running avenue in Brooklyn, and it connects Brooklyn north to south, connecting a lot of very, very different communities in Brooklyn. This is actually going to be the site that the New York City Marathon is going to run through next month in November, but we have a very different ceremony going through here today with the bagleiten. They're setting up the royal balcony. The poster there just hanging up says Yechi Adonai Morani V'Rabbaini, which is a phrase you will hear quite often in relation to the rabbi. It says, may our leader, the rabbi, live. And then on the other side, it's sort of the beautiful crown on our head, sort of that the rabbinic dynasty is the crown on our head. I don't actually know how this is going to work. If the rabbi is going to be in the center, if the men are on one side, the women are on the other. I have no idea because I've never been this close up to the rabbi's house in my life for the ceremony. I'm doing this, I'm coming this close only for work. I was never the kind of Hasidic follower who came that close otherwise. So it looks like the Grand Rabbi is in the Sukkah, this big public Sukkah that has been built at this school/wedding venue. And it looks like this is where he's going to exit because a lot of people are already congregating and the men are on one side and the women are on the other. And I know any minute now I'm going to be shoved into the women's section. We're gonna go squeeze, push our way. Which side are you gonna go back? Are you gonna be by yourself with the men, elbowing your way in, or are you gonna be with me? Men will not wanna have a women in the men's section, but the women are much less sensitive to having a man in their section. It's much more acceptable. It happens, like you'll see a male waiter in the women's section, but you won't see, of a wedding, for instance, you won't see a female ever in the men's section, a female waiter. So obviously, the ceremony ended and the rabbi's ready to come out. And everyone's running ahead so they can catch a spot. Oh, he's greeting everyone. There he is. Wishing everyone well, blessings. It was packed there. We're the last to leave. It looked a little like those stoops where we stood. To be a proper Hasid, you have to climb, just like you did, Becca, on scaffolding or high-lows or whatever. That's how you do it proper.
Smacht dem Gefnai Sham le Kaichem. Emes die Simche von Beide Kalalum, emes können mitnehmen, Stieberan, jeder eine. Emes die Simche von dem Eibestim, jeder eins, so ich sagen.
Oye, wat hij zal die ik hem jere bij je smochte, hij wie je schuld, als die berg no
So that concludes the bagleiten with the rabbi's blessing to us. It was actually quite interesting, to my surprise. The entire experience completely new to me. And also because where it all happened is a big part of the historic story of Williamsburg, especially the big mansion where the rabbi lives, 550 Bedford Avenue. And it's a place I pass by all the time. And it was quite an interesting ceremony. And also it was cold. And now I'm heading home and I'm wishing all of you the same as the rabbi said, a nice and lovely winter. And thank you for joining me on this experience of seeing the many, many colors of Hasidic Williamsburg. I got to show you just a slice of what it's like from my eyes as a tour guide to see this neighborhood go through all the transformations during all the festive celebrations. And there's so much to share, and I only got to show you a slice of it, but hopefully it gave you a sense of what it's like around here. That's it.